I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the Manasas Speedway as we are here to cap off what's already been an exciting race weekend with the second race of the 8th season of the NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. This is the Virginia 160. 80 circuits around this 2-mile speedway / super speedway, and coming off the heels of an exciting Daytona 500 weekend. Matt Haas, now a multi-time Great American Race champion. He carries a ton of momentum into this race, and he'd love to double down, get 2 wins to start the year out, but there's another 41 drivers. They're looking for their first win of the season as well, including the driver that lines up on the pole position, a driver who last season picked up a victory at a 2-mile speedway known as Auto Club, and that is Nick Gunther in the Mazda out of Garage 55. Of course, would love to give that brand new team their first win in their inception in the Cup Series, and Gunther was very fast yesterday in our qualifying session. Destin Boland will line up to his outside. Destin, a 3-time winner in his rookie year back in Season 6, but he went all of Season 7 completely winless, so it's been a bit of a winless streak for him. He'd love to snap that here today. Now notice up here inside of our top 5, you've got a Mazda of Gunther, but then it's a Ford of Destin Boland, then you've got Dylan Young in a Ford, Daniel Voiles in a Ford, Nathan Ormond in a Ford completing the top 5. Why is that significant? Well, Ford has had an absolute stranglehold on Victory Lane here at Manasas. Manasas has been on the schedule ever since Season 1, and every single season, a driver featuring a blue oval on their car has gone to Victory Lane. Jose Mills, Trey Wright, Dylan Young, Chris Dollerton, William Micros, Mitchell Collins, and last season's Rookie of the Year, Casey Hoyt, all have gone to Victory Lane. No other manufacturer has been able to break into the winner's circle at this venue. Could today be the day that the streak is snapped, or could it continue for a mind-boggling 8th straight season? Obviously, as featured here, they were really good in qualifying, were the Fords. Can one of them keep the streak going here today? We're going to find out the answer to that question in just a few moments, because we're going down trackside to get those most famous words in motorsports in Manasas, Virginia.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, guys, let's go out there and have a good day today. We all go out there and do our job. We're going to have a nice, solid finish.
Bottom right of your screen, you'll see your 42 car starting lineup. No go-homers this week. Only 42 drivers showed up, so they all made it into the field this weekend. Well, Matt Haas, obviously, by winning the Daytona 500 last week, comes into this race as your points leader. He's got 6 points in hand over former champion Caleb Vogler. Benjamin Miles off to a great start this year. He's third in points, 7 points back. Benjamin Snyder in his second full-time season in Cup. He's 8 points back in fourth. And Jack Mitchell, who was able to get a charter during the offseason to run full-time once again in the Cup Series, he is fifth, 9 points out of the points lead. Dylan Young, who rolls off third here this afternoon, he's sixth in the standings, 10 points back. Eric Sadler, your current rookie points leader, we'll talk about that in a little bit. He is seventh, 11 points back. 12 points back in 8th, that is Cole Deaver. Matt McIntyre and Levi McIntyre complete the top 10, 13 and 15 points back, respectively. A lot of drivers looking to continue the momentum from good runs last week at Daytona. Other drivers trying to scramble to get back the points they lost if they had a poor performance in the Great American Race. But it's Nick Gunther's Mazda bringing us out of turn number 4. He'll bring us to the line, and the Virginia 160 at the Manasas Speedway for the 8th straight season is green. We saw a lot of passing in yesterday's Duracell Ultralight Series race. Officially at the start-finish line, 41 lead changes in the 60-lap event. How many lead changes will we see here today? Will it be slightly different, where somebody will be able to get out in front and stay out in front? We'll have to wait and see here. We got a little taste of the type of racing we'll see yesterday during the group qualifying session, but I think we're getting our answer right here as well. Look at him fan out, double wide, 3 wide down the front straightaway, and Nathan Ormond is going to lead the first lap as we are 3 by 3 by 3, about 4-5 rows deep back there. Cole Deaver now on the inside line. Chevy bow ties all lined up nose to tail with Deaver in the 3, LaPlante in the 48, Qualls in the 70. And we'll see who gets this lap led as LaPlante with a nice run on the bottom. He's going to edge ahead by about half a car length. He'll get the bonus point for the lap led right there. I think we only had like 8 or 9 drivers in our 26 car field yesterday in the lights race that didn't lead a lap. Just about more than 2/3 of the field all got the bonus point for a lap led. And I expect to see the same here today. It's a 42 car field, 80 laps, so we won't have everybody lead a lap, I don't think, but we could have a vast majority of drivers get those bonus points. As Laura Chung, we haven't seen Laura Chung go to victory lane since Watkins Glen in her first full-time rookie season back in season 6. Went winless last season and looking to bounce back here. The second longest tenured driver now over at Auto Junction Racing, only to Ryan Brommer, ever since the departure of Ryan Butcher during the off-season. Here comes one of our former winners at this racetrack. That's Trey Wright in the 82, a former Daytona 500 winner as well. Trey Wright in the 4th entry out of Blue Oval Automotive here this week. He took the checkered flag at this racetrack back in Season 2. As a matter of fact, Blue Oval Automotive has the most victories here of all those Ford wins. Jose Mills, Trey Wright, Chris Dollerton have all won at this racetrack under the Blue Oval Automotive banner. A couple of red, white, and blue cars up here at the front. Got the iRacing Toyota. That's our winner from last week, the now multi-time Daytona 500 winner Matt Haas, and Jesse Turner in the 47, the U.S. Air Force Dark Horse Mustang. Took a turn out in front there. Joshua Osborne now to the point with some help from the defending winner of this race. That would be Casey Hoyt. Manasas was the first of 3 victories Casey would pick up last season, en route to being not only Rookie of the Year, but also finishing runner-up in the overall point standings, but not in the Ford this season. Moving over to the Chevrolet Camaro out of Northeast Motorsports. We talked about the fact that drivers that ran well last week wanted to keep that momentum going. On the flip side, drivers that did not get the runs they were looking for at Daytona, looking to gain back a lot of the points that they lost here early on in the season. You get a good run after a poor Daytona 500, you can work your way back up into the top 20, top 15, maybe even luckily enough you could maybe get up into the top 10. It kind of depends on circumstances, but you got a few of those drivers right here in this shot. Anthony McCurry in the 61, who finished 41st last week, and the driver going for the lead right now, Keith Batson, finished 39th last week. Neither one of them reached the conclusion of the Great American Race, so They'd love to bounce back here this week if they could, as we were 4 wide there for a moment through 1 and 2. We made it through that. I think that was Eric Monaco, Jack Mitchell, Danny Bouchard, and Dylan Poteet that were in that formation. As there's your rookie points leader, Eric Sadler. Sadler finishing 7th last week in his first ever Duracell Cup Series race in the 500. Subsequently, he comes in as the rookie points leader, 1 point over Eric Monaco, 2 over Daniel Bouchard, and 3 over Summer Henson. During the course of this season, whoa, is there contact right there between Deaver and Norman? I couldn't tell. But during the course of this season, first is going to get 10 points, second highest finishing rookie is going to get 9, third highest rookie gets 8, and fourth highest rookie will get 7. They are the only 4 drivers running for the Rookie of the Year honors, since they are the only ones that are full-time running for points. Now, Autumn Brooks is in this field here as well. She does have rookie stripes on her car, but she is running for lights points, not for Cup points, so she would not be eligible for Cup Series Rookie of the Year. Kyle Matthews had a solid qualifying effort yesterday, and he's making his way up to the front now on that inside line. Kyle Matthews, former champion, dead last at Daytona last week. So if there's a driver that is definitely wanting to get his fortunes turned around immediately, it would have to be this driver out of S3 Motorsports, the Kings Island Beast We the Coasters Chevrolet, as he'll take the lead from third full-time season driver Quentin Moore out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports. And now Matt Haas looking to go to the point. Let's see, has Haas led a lap yet? No, he is not. Looking to at least lead a lap in the first 2 events of the season. Jack Mitchell says not so fast. He's going to have a good push on the bottom there from Levi McIntyre, and Haas will still be denied, at least at this point. Levi McIntyre, 2-time winner last season. 10th in the 500. Good solid way to start out the year for him. Remember, Levi failed to make the playoffs last season despite having a win during the regular season, but he wasn't high enough in the points to be eligible for a wild card spot, so he's looking to get to victory lane early in this season. As Daniel Bouchard will now take the top position here. Bouchard, the rookie, going to get himself a lap led. Now, if I recall correctly, and please don't quote me on this because my knowledge is not 100%. I remember some things, but not all things. But Jose Mills, when he won the first race here in Season 1, he was driving the number 98. Trey Wright, when he won in Season 2, was driving the 28. Dylan Young, obviously, when he won in Season 3, was driving the 2. Chris Dollerton, I believe, in Season 4, I want to say he was driving the 43, but I could be incorrect. It could have also been the 83. William Micros, I know, when he was driving for KB Racing Enterprises, he was in the 93. Mitchell Collins, in Season 6, he was in the 33 car for Michael Norman Motorsports, and Casey Hoyt, of course, last season was in the 74 out of Lake Effect Autosport. So that's a look at the teams that have won here at this racetrack. Young Motorsports, Michael Norman Motorsports, Lake Effect Autosports, KB Racing Enterprises, and Blue Oval Automotive, as you've got one of Lake Effect Autosports cars taking the lead right here. That's Alexander Rowe in the 46, and as soon as he gets the lead, Autumn Brooks in the 62 going to move on by him. Autumn Brooks ran in the Duracell Ultralight Series race yesterday, so she's got a little bit more prior knowledge of how this track is going to feel the longer this race goes on. Making her debut, points-paying debut, I should say, in the Cup Series here today. We saw her make a Cup start, if you will, albeit non-points, in the All-Star Open last season at Charlotte, but failed to qualify for the 500s. This is officially her first start in the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series, as Dylan Young, former winner here, is going to move to the top position, and right behind him, the defending champion of the series, Jessica Shelton, in the 94. Shelton, 19th last week in the Daytona 500. Looking to build off of that to get up into the top 10 in points. Summer Henson in the 78 car, the Fire Emblem sponsorship this week, and that entry out of Auto Junction Racing. Of course, a lot of hype around her after she took the checkers in the exhibition race, the Clash at the Coliseum, but the 500 did not go well for her. She had quite a bit of damage from an earlier wreck and limped that machine home in the 32nd position. As Dylan Young doing a good job kind of blocking the lanes, and now his teammate, RJ Bishop, will move up into the second position. 1-2 for the Young Motorsports machines. RJ Bishop and 2 Mile racetracks don't exactly have a very friendly relationship with each other. If you remember back in, I believe it was season 4 of Duracell Cup, RJ Bishop was a non-charter driver out of Young Motorsports, and he almost won the non-charter race at Michigan, and then the following day he almost won the Cup race, the charter race at Michigan. He finished runner-up in both of those events. This is a 2-mile speedway as well. Slightly different configuration, obviously, than Auto Club and Michigan. But see if Bishop can maybe quell the 2-mile demons here today. As look at this, Joshua Osborne with the lead, but look who's up to second. Michael Norman. Now why is that significant? Well, we're about a quarter of the way through this race, and Michael Norman started this event from dead last, and he's been able to work his way up to the front. So a big thing that we were talking about yesterday in qualifying was what was the ability of passing going to be for these drivers that didn't get good starting track position off the grid? That gives you the answer right there. Apparently passing is definitely possible from back to front. Might be very similar to what we saw yesterday in the Light Series race, where it's going to come down to timing. Now, we did go down pit road and talk with some crew chiefs. We do know for absolutely certain these drivers cannot make it the full 80 laps on fuel. They will have to come to pit road, and we weren't given an exact number, but we were told somewhere in the lap 40 to lap 50 margin is when these drivers will have to hit pit lane. So somewhere around the halfway point, keep a lookout potentially for hands out the window and drivers coming to pit road. We didn't get to see green flag pit stops yesterday in the Light Series race. We had maybe one of the most unusual wrecks occur. Brought out a caution, everybody came to pit road, took on fuel, we're good to make it the rest of the way, so pit road under green never played a factor. It could play a factor here today. Photo finish there for that lap led, and I think it was going to go to the 3 of Cole Deaver. At least visibly it looked like Deaver got him, and indeed he did. Eric Monaco in that battle there, the defending Light Series champ. Kyle Matthews and Benjamin Snyder now splitting Monaco 3 wide for the second spot as Deaver currently leads. He's going to have a challenge maybe from his teammate Kyle Matthews. He tried to pull down in front of the 09, but Matthews was there to the left rear quarter panel. Deaver has to give him the room off of turn 4. This is a tight formation back here. Anthony McCrory in the middle, 4 wide with Levi McIntyre. Matt Haas down on the bottom, along with James Qualls. They'll settle it out to 3 wide. Now, we took the opportunity yesterday to see what the Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers had to deal with in traffic. Took an onboard with Aubrey Powell. Let's take an onboard with the Celsius Mazda out of Garage 55 as Anthony shows us how to get around here at Manasas Speedway. couple of big-time bails there as we were on board with McCrory. You saw him have to check up for Austin LaPlante. Trey Wright, who was in front of him when we started the onboard, was able to find his way down to the bottom of the racetrack. There's Carson Gum in the 19. Another driver looking to bounce back from last week at Daytona. Carson was upside down through the tri-oval on the front straightaway at the World Center of Racing. Finished 40th in that race. Now, a few drivers, Gum, McCrory, Batson, and Matthews, who all suffered DNFs last week, we know that they'll at least pass one person in the standings, and that's going to be Charles Belding. Belding didn't attempt to qualify for the field here this week. It'll be a while, I think, till we see Belding attempt to qualify for another race. No announcement has been made for him. So they know they'll at least move up one spot in points, but they want to move up a lot of spots in the point standings. Cody Lamas in the 84 got the lap led that last time around before giving way to Jesse Turner and now Quentin Moore. Cody 23rd last week in the 500. Quentin, now the new leader, was 13th. Little ways away from halfway in this race. A lot of different leaders out in front. Some for a lap, some for 2 laps, a couple of them for 3 laps. Right now, Dylan Young has led the most laps, but he's only been out in front for 4 total circuits. That bonus point for most laps led. It's going to be very interesting to see who actually gets it, as Daniel Bouchard out of Michael Norman Motorsports now leads the way in the Sheets Ford Dark Horse Mustang. Let's take a look at what's around the turn here, brought to you by NSRA Paint Designs. And after this week, we pack it up, we head back to the West Coast, as we will be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Our graphics department failing again, as we will be not at Manasas International, as it says there for the first time slot there. We will be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll have Las Vegas qualifying for the lights drivers on Friday at 3, and then Saturday at 1, the Cup drivers will take to the mile-and-a-half racetrack for their qualifying session. Later on that afternoon, it'll be the 3rd race of the season for the lights drivers, the Roll the Dice 120, and then the following Sunday, it'll be the Cup race. Capping off what should be a good weekend at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Las Vegas is known for gambling, and the drivers there on the racetrack always seem to be willing to take a gamble, see if it will pay off, especially early on in the season. I mean, you look at Daytona, bit of a wild card track with it being a super speedway. You look at this racetrack where it's very difficult to hold on to the lead. It kind of looks like it's coming down to timing of your moves as to whether you're going to go to the front or not. Next week at Las Vegas, a lot of opportunity to gamble. Take a risky play in terms of strategy, because you know there's a pretty lengthy regular season, a lot of races still left to go. You lose some positioning, lose some points, you can maybe gather them back in the next 2 or 3 races. Especially as well with the fact that the point standings are as close as they are in the early portion of the season too. Levi McIntyre going to move to the race lead around Daniel Bouchard. A lot of Fords. Seen a lot of Fords up here get to the front of the field. It's got to be a pride thing, right? If you're a Ford driver, knowing you're coming into a race where the Blue Ovals have dominated, won all 7 races run here. You want to be the next. You want to represent for your manufacturer, keep that run going. Gotta wonder just how much more drive that gives to the Chevys and the Toyotas and the Mazdas, Shelton and the Dodge to break that streak up. We've run 34 laps, well 33 completed, on to lap 34. All 42 cars are still running, all in the lead lap, and you could throw a blanket over them. Less than 2.5 seconds separating the leader back to the rear of the field, which right now is being represented by Destin Bolin, who started on the outside of the front row this afternoon. Getting into that fuel window here. I think at this point, if they came to pit road, they could make it the rest of the way. I don't know if they would consider short pitting. I'm not seeing a whole lot in terms of fall off for the lap times. Most of these drivers that I'm looking at here, their best lap times in the 34.5s. And most of the drivers right now are running 34.7s to 34.9s. So we're only looking at, what, 2 to 4 tenths of a second fall off. Plus the draft is so strong right here. So I don't think that really coming to pit road early, short pitting, is going to be the answer. Plus the fact it will be interesting to see, because yesterday in the lights race, I thought they were going to have to fill the cars completely full of fuel, which they may have done, but a lot of the teams elected to just go with right side tires. Will we see that play here with the Cup drivers, or will they go for the fresh feel goods? I don't know. Beaver with a couple of laps out in front there, and now Daniel Voiles will take a turn. Trey Wright putting up a challenge. He'll actually snipe that lap right there. Laura Chung in the 77 has now jumped up to the top of the board for most laps led. 5 in total. Levi McIntyre and Dylan Young currently sit second, tied for second, with 4 apiece. Matt Haas still looking for his first lap led of the day. Same for Zachary Fitzwater in the 83. Fitzwater, the season 6 Rookie of the Year. And Kyle Matthews going to lead that lap. Matthews, that'll be his second lap led of the day. So we've gone down the list of the former winners here. Only 2 drivers eligible to pick up their second career win at Manasas. Dylan Young being one of them. The other one, obviously, Casey Hoyt, the defending winner. All the other drivers are either part-time or retired. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Actually, 3. 3 have an opportunity. Trey Wright in the part-time capacity here this afternoon also has a shot at it. As Benjamin Snyder out in front in the 38 car after his top 5 run last week at Daytona. Had a solid season last year down the Duracell Ultra Light Series, so he was brought back up to the Cup Series. And doing very well, filling in for the vacant ride left by most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series at this point, Jose Mills. Of course, that number 38 has won a championship before in the Cup Series with Jordan Lopez. Summer Henson with a run there, but looks like Snyder's going to be able to keep her at bay for the time being. Jack Mitchell sliding into the 3rd spot. Jack Mitchell hoping that the Adrenaline Motorsports curse doesn't roll over here to the Cup Series. That team did not fare well yesterday in lights. Dave Smith and Brody Kupski both finishing off the lead lap. It's kind of funny, too, because you look back at Daytona, you had a lot of Cup drivers taking part in the lights race. Mitchell was one of them, Dylan Young, Nick Gunther, Reggie Fogelman. But this weekend, none of the Cup drivers elected to take part in the lights race. It was all full-time lights drivers. I think we're going to see some Cup drivers in the lights race, or attempt to be in the lights race next week at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As drag race here, Poteet will best Shelton. Neither one of them had led a lap yet today, so that's the first lap led for the Bass Pro Shops Toyota Camry out of Fortnite Squad Racing. Jesse Turner now out in front with former teammate behind him and Casey Hoyt. Kyler Sustre there in the 4, when we go to Las Vegas next week, he'll be the defending winner. Remember, he won that race in a non-charter capacity last season. One of multiple rookies that went to victory lane, joining Will Goss and Connor Breton and Casey Hoyt. Now full-time charter driver is Sustre, coming off a top 15 run in the 500 last week. And he'd love to go into the race where he got his first career win as a two-time winner if he can close out the deal here this afternoon. Austin LaPlante going to move to the race lead here. It's getting close to the point where we're only going to have about maybe 10 or so drivers that haven't led this afternoon. It will be interesting to see. I feel like we're going to beat the total number of lead changes from yesterday, just based on the fact that we've got an extra 20 laps for these drivers to run, 60 yesterday, 80 today. And obviously as well, we've got more cars in this field than we did yesterday. Yesterday we had 26 drivers swap the lead at the start-finish line 41 times. I feel like with the numbers increased in the field and the number of laps increased as well, we are going to actually beat that total. I wouldn't be surprised if we're over 50 lead changes here this afternoon. But it will be interesting to kind of see that total. This could very well potentially hold the record for most lead changes in a race here in Season 8. At least the way it's looking right now. Reggie Fogelman got that lap lead bonus point. And now Kyle Matthews to the inside. We're in the window. I'm not seeing any hands out the window yet. Around lap 50 is the furthest I've been told these drivers can go. And we're only 5 laps away from that, so when do they make the dive? And how difficult is this pit road going to be to get onto, too? That's going to be another big question. Certainly hate to see a caution come out, break up what's been a tremendous long green flag run. Would love to see this run green all the way to the checkers. 2012, 2013 me wouldn't be able to believe that. Back in the day, you wanted to have wreck fests and survival fests and see who was going to make it through the carnage to pick up the win. But no, now I've gotten to the point where the mentality is I like to see the long green flag runs and see, who pulls off the best strategy there with keeping the car in one piece. Have pit road come into play. Hopefully nobody runs each other over. We had that be an issue in the 500 where some little broken up packs would check each other up on the entrance to pit road. That's what caused a number of drivers to DNF last week. Keep watching these drivers down the inside line, see if any of them maybe indicate they're coming to pit road, put those left side tires down in the white line. Nothing yet, though. It's going to be soon, somewhere in these next couple of laps. Hopefully nobody tries pitting from the second or extreme outside line, because that could be treacherous. If you're not good on fuel to go a little longer distance, you probably want to get into the bottom right here, right now. Also keeping an eye on the tailpipes here of these cars. If you see flares coming out of the pipes, that means these drivers are bailing out of the throttle, slowing to make their way onto pit road, as Laura Chung will now lead a 6th lap. That's a race high so far. I don't think we've talked about Nick Gunther since he led us to the green to start this race. He's finally back up here to the front. And the driver that started was outside. Dustin Bowen is 5th on the inside line. So it took both those drivers a little bit of time to get back up here into the vicinity of the race lead. All right, to the line, lap 50 is on the board. This has to be it, right? This is the number we were told. About a max of 50 laps these drivers can go on. Now, maybe it increased a little bit with them being in the draft. Able to save a little bit of fuel that way. I don't know exactly, but I feel like this is the point where we're going to see at least some drivers have to hit the pit lane. Let's keep an eye here. No, not yet. They're going to be able to go a little bit further than what we were told, what was projected. As Summer Henson's going to get herself a lap led. She already had one previously, so that's her second turn out in front. Her teammate Laura Chung pushed her out there, and now Chung will take the top spot once again. cycle through just to make sure. Okay, so just to make sure that nobody else has come to pit road towards the back, just in case somebody doing a little bit of an undercut from the midway portion of the field or rear of the field. And they continue to stay out. Well, we thought we had the projected lap for you of when to expect to see them come to pit road. That we didn't have correct. We can confirm they can't go 80 laps. There is no way mathematically they can go 80 laps. I think we got some drivers coming in this time. Yeah, a few have come in already. Shelton, Alexander Rowe, Charles Sanford. So now the cycle has begun. And here comes some more. Dylan Young's coming in, Nick Gunther, Zachary Fitzwater, Cole Deaver, late dive onto pit road there. Ryan Brommer, Reggie Fogelman, bunch of them there. I see Anthony McCurry back there, Casey Hoyt, Benjamin Miles, Levi McIntyre, Quentin Moore, Daniel Bouchard, James Qualls, Kyler Sustre, Keith Batson, Trey Wright. Got to be careful with those late dives like the 3 did. You want to make the commitment line first off, but secondly, you don't want to get caught speeding. Because I feel like at this point, we're trending so much of green flag runs, you're not going to get a chance to get the spots back as, woo, there was contact there. Dustin Bolin into the back of Jack Mitchell. Got him really loose, and I thought he was going to go around Mitchell, that is. They all made it on, though. All got slowed up. Looks like we're good. Now we're just waiting on a few stragglers here. That would be Joshua Osborne, Laura Chung, and Matt Haas. Kyle Matthews, I believe, as well, is still yet to come to pit road, and that should complete the cycle. As here comes in that trio of Osborne, Chung, and Haas. We'll see if Matthews is coming in behind them as well. Yes, he is. Look at Matthews flying in there. Gets it down to that commitment line. Long access road before pit road speed even starts, so you can be aggressive coming on to pit road entry. And we're going to just follow the 27 here because I want to see if it's right side tires or if they're going to go for 4. A little slow there on the right side, but it is right side tires and fill it full of fuel. That's it. So same as it was in the lights race. We'll wait for everything to cycle around here, but this might be where your battle for the race lead could be. Nathan Orman scored 5th last time by, so yeah, I think once he gets up here and maybe passes Haas, Chung, and Osborne, I think Nathan Orman will be the new race leader. Although 27, can he get up to speed here? They're going to have the draft behind him, so I think he will cycle to the lead, but he's going to be the proverbial sitting duck, if you will. I think he will lead this lap, but he's going to have company very quickly. And now we get an idea of who was the best on pit road and who wasn't. Problems, I think, for the 48. Hold on. See if we can find the 48 of Austin LaPlante, because I think he's still on pit road. Yes, he is. Not sure what's going on with LaPlante, but he still sits on the pit lane, and he's going to fall off the lead lap. So, pit road issue for Austin, and we can find out the reasoning. We'll show it to you via the NNSCRA split cam, but he still sits on pit road, and this effectively takes him out of winning this afternoon's race from Manasas. Osborne was able to keep the lead. Here comes the rest of that group, but they're not closing in on him all that quickly. He got up to speed very fast, and they're going to have not nearly as much momentum behind him as I thought they would. Osborne might be able to hang on to this thing. So nice job of staying out that extra lap. He'll have a lap fresher tires, well, right sides anyway. And we'll see what he can do with Jack Mitchell on his back bumper. Ryan Brommer will now move up into 3rd. Benjamin Snyder is 4th. Cole Deaver 5th. Nathan Ormond in 6th. And that's the drivers in this lead group. Then you got a second pack hoping to reel them in, being led by 7th place Benjamin Miles. Dylan Young right now in 8th. 9th place under contest, Matt Haas, last week's winner, trying to take it from Zachary Fitzwater. 10th position right now would be Daniel Bouchard. 11th, Eric Monaco. 12th, Laura Chung. 13th, Reggie Fogelman. Nick Gunther is in the 14th position, I do believe. No, I missed something in that running order there. 14th right now is actually Reggie Fogelman. Then 15th, pole sitter Nick Gunther. Michael Norman, 16th. Kyle Matthews is 17th. Matt McIntyre, 18th. 19th is Casey Hoyt. And Destin Bolin right now is the completion of the top 20. And Austin LaPlante's out of the race. They've just pushed the 48 back behind the wall. So again, not 100% certain what happened to LaPlante, but after a 33rd place finish last week at Daytona, and now a 42nd place finish here this week at Manasas, LaPlante's going to find himself in a pretty early deficit to try and dig out of next week at Las Vegas. Tough start to the year for the co-owner of Northeast Motorsports, as Benjamin Snyder will wrestle away the lead from Joshua Osborne, and now we're starting to see the crossovers taking place again. Now Ryan Brommer will look for the lead, with Orman taking it 3 wide. We are now at 20 to go, so it's basically go time here for these guys. Now let's focus in on that second group. Are they closing in? The last time by, they were 2.5 seconds behind the leaders. They are, according to my telemetry, running 0.2 of a second quicker than the drivers up in the lead pack, and that shows on the interval. Went from 2.5 to 2.3. They can keep this pace up and they continue to race up in that lead group. They do have enough laps where they will be able to reel in this front pack, and we would then have a group of, I'd say probably about 22 cars, something like that. Let's see how far back this group goes. Does it go back to Keith Batson? Yeah, just about. In that 22nd spot. Got another group back here being led by RJ Bishop. This is 23rd place on back to about 33rd, which right now is being held by Jessica Shelton, the defending champ. And then this shows you the drivers that didn't get the best of pit stops. Autumn Brooks back in 34th. Daniel Voiles, Caleb Fogler, Destin Bolin, Jesse Turner back here, Carson Gum, and Connor Breton. That's 33rd back through 40th. Cody Lamas all by his lonesome in the 41st position. Not sure what happened on their pit stop. And he is right now the last car running, last car on the lead lap. Austin LaPlante, the only driver out of the race. Another 0.2 shaved off that last lap by the second group, led by Benjamin Miles on this first pack, as Jack Mitchell now looking for the race lead. You look at the drivers up here in this lead pack, all of them looking for their first win on the season, obviously. It's been a bit of a winless streak for Jack Mitchell since he wasn't full-time last year. He was a non-charter driver. Looking for, I believe, it'll be his 3rd career victory in Duracell Cup Series competition. Ryan Brommer, been a long time since he's been to victory lane. He has not won since moving over to Auto Junction Racing's Toyota team. Benjamin Snyder, obviously, is looking for his first career win. Got close back in Season 6. Almost pulled off the victory at Sonoma. Got a late race restart penalty. Finished 5th as a consequence. He also had a top 5 run as a non-charter driver last year at Mid-Ohio, so he's been in the conversation a couple of times, but still searching for that first career win. Nathan Ormond went to victory lane as recently as Watkins Glen last season, but it was a very struggling year, so he'd love to get this season started off a lot better. He was 30th last week at Daytona, so not great. Could certainly bounce back points-wise if he can get something done here this afternoon. Joshua Osborne, he picked up a win late last season, his 2nd career victory. And he'd love to pick up a 3rd career victory and first of the season here. Cole Deaver struggled last year. Was outside the top 30 in overall standings at the conclusion of Season 7. He was winless last year. Love to snap that winless streak. He was a 2 or three-time winner in his first full-time season as a charter driver for S3 Motorsports. I'm trying to remember, I think in season 4, I think he was a two-time winner, I want to say. It might have been 3. But that's the 6 drivers right now, and their backstories here, all looking to get their first win of season 8. For Snyder, looking for the first win of his career. But we may have some more players here, because that interval between them and the second group continues to chip away. It's now down to less than 2 seconds, and look at the amount of cars we've got in this pack. A bunch of them, and they are running in the 34 7s, 34 8s, while the leaders are running 34 9s and 35 flats. So they are closing up in a hurry. What these drivers need to do is they need to kind of stay like this, double file, somewhat straggled single file. If they start racing double and 3 wide, it's going to slow them down. It's going to help that second group. So if they can continue to be kind of like this, an orderly side-by-side battle, they might be able to keep it amongst themselves. Especially with the double and 3 wide that we're seeing back in that second group. There's about a little less than half a straightaway right now. If any one of these lead cars can sniff the draft off those top 6, then they're definitely in trouble. And I think they'd have to get within maybe 1.2 seconds for that to happen. So right now you're watching the ongoing battle for what would be 7th place, the highest running of this second group, as the top 6 are hoping to settle this out amongst themselves. Next time by will be 10 laps to go, still quite a ways left in this race, and I think we've got a slow car up ahead the leaders are going to have to deal with. That is Cody Lamas. We saw slow traffic come into play yesterday in the Light Series race. It's going to come into play here in this one. And, oh, man, Mitchell's going to get into Cody Lamas. Right front to left rear contact. That could have very easily been our first caution of the day. Fortunately, it wasn't. It's going to break up these top 6 a little bit, slow them up, and that's going to help this pack. But now this pack, double wide, 3 wide, several rows deep, they're going to have to find their way around the slow 84. Some of them might be able to get around easily. Others are probably going to get held up. We'll see if that helped out this group or not. Matt McIntyre, Eric Monaco trying to lead this group. And also, let's bear in mind here, too, as we're looking at the cars up here at the front of the field, we've got 3 Chevrolets, 1 Toyota, 2 Fords. The Fords are outnumbered right now. Their streak of 8 straight trips to victory lane here at this racetrack could be in jeopardy. Can Snyder and Ormond overcome the odds and keep it going? This isn't the white flag lap. They still got some time to work together. So it's not over yet, but they are definitely at a numbers disadvantage. Looks like Joshua Osborne may, after that whole cycle of pit stops, might cycle around to getting the bonus point for most laps led here today. He's led 12 laps this afternoon. Jack Mitchell just led his 8th lap. And Laura Chung now drops from top of the board before the pit stops to now 3rd most laps led at 7. Looks like the interval has not changed from the lead group to the second group. Nick Gunther now up leading this pack that has gotten somewhat spread out with everybody trying to get around the slower 84. Looks like they've all succeeded in doing so now. So it may be 6 cars for the win and then about a dozen drivers for 7th place. Unless somehow that second group finds the speed necessary, or this group up here starts battling a little too much. Gonna be 6 to go this time by. Out of turn number 4. Here come the blue ovals on the bottom. The Dark Horse Mustangs working together. Now they're out of different organizations, but there is still the common goal of Ford Brethren, if you will. Trying to keep that stranglehold on checkered flags at Manasas. Ormond's out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Snyder is out of Blue Oval Automotive. Both organizations have won here at this racetrack in the past. And they're going to go side by side for the lead through 3 and 4. Snyder on the bottom, Ormond on the top. Maybe try and create a wall. Caution! Caution is out! Now the question is, do we get back racing? The caution's out. They hit the line for 5 laps to go. I think we'll get back green, but this just opened the Pandora's box up for all those other drivers, 7th place on back, that didn't have a shot at this thing. Now it all comes down to how many laps are we going to need here under this caution period. Can we get a green-white checker? Do we get a 1-lap shootout? There's a lot of smoke lingering on the back straightaway. This was a big wreck. And Summer Henson. It's been a tough start to the year for the rookie, just off the heels of her win at the Clash. Did not run well last week at Daytona. Looks like a DNF here at Manasas. Saw RJ Bishop on pit road as well in the 98. And there may be others with damage that we don't know about yet. See Trey Wright back there towards the rear of the field. James Qualls has actually come to pit road and already made the left-hand turn to the garage area, so he was in it. Let's go back and take a look at what it was, and we'll keep tabs as well on just how many laps we've got left when those lights go out atop the pace car. I think we're getting back green. It's just a matter of how many miles there will be. Summer Henson in the 78, they were catching her at a pretty alarming rate of speed. I think she actually might get into Cody Lamas here. Let's see. Up to the outside, and Cody thought he was clear. Puts the 78 in the wall, and then here comes that group behind. Anthony McCrory got a big hit. Qualls, RJ Bishop. Trey Wright goes through the grass. We'll see further up here. Hard to tell if Cody was trying to give Summer Henson the bottom there. Didn't know that she was already to his outside. Here's another look. Henson's clearly up there. Might have been a blind spot there for Cody Lamas. If that's a blind spot, the spotter should have let him know. Oh, Anthony was not involved. I thought the 61 was involved, but he wasn't. Alexander Rowe definitely got a piece. Anthony just skirted through. And there was a third pack behind that came into the vicinity as well. I think most of the drivers had already kind of spun down into the infield grass, so they weren't collected up. Take a look at this. Watch the 61. Narrowly it's going to squeak through, but Bishop's not so lucky. Qualls, Levi McIntyre, Trey Wright, Jessica Shelton, Dylan Poteet was behind that. Wow, look at Shelton's car bouncing in the grass there. Same for Trey Wright in the 82. Poteet got a front row seat of all of this. Let's go on board with the Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Take a look from the driver's seat of how he was able to get through. I don't think he made any contact. Narrowly avoiding there. You saw Alexander Rowe and Charles Sanford pass by on the outside. I'm pretty sure the 46 got a piece of it. I think the back end of his car got jacked up in the air. We'll look here. Oh yeah, he definitely got involved. He got in the back of Shelton. Sanford did not get involved though. And I'm not sure about Quentin Moore. He might have gotten on the brakes in time too, but you can definitely see there's some damage on the front of the Dunkin' Donuts Ford Dark Horse Mustang. So Rowe was in it. There's Qualls left side of your screen, smoking. That's why we didn't see that he was out of the race. He immediately brought that thing to the garage area, knew his day was over. Looks like 4 drivers now back in the garage area, 3 after this incident, and we're waiting on the pace car to see if the lights go out. This time by, it'd be 2 to go, so if the lights go out, we get a 1-lap shootout to decide this thing. If they don't go out, the race is going to end under yellow. And Benjamin Snyder, I don't think would mind that at all. And the lights are out. 1-lap shootout. So it'll be 2 miles to settle this thing out. Theoretically, I'd say if you're up maybe in the top 6, you got a shot at this thing. I don't think anybody from 7th on back will have enough time to be able to make the moves necessary to get up to the front and win this race. But we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Benjamin Snyder in for maybe the restart of his career. There's no way he can jump this restart and get a penalty. He'll have Nathan Ormond behind him, trying to keep Ford as the only manufacturer to find victory lane here at the Manasas Speedway. Cole Deaver lines up in 3rd, Ryan Brommer 4th. Jack Mitchell is the completion of the top 5. Then Joshua Osborne is 6th. New life breathed into the driver 7th on back. Miles is now 7th. Dylan Young 8th. Michael Norman and Kyle Matthews. That is your top 10. Drivers that were going to finish 7th or worse have a shot at a top 5. Maybe if a miracle happens, a win, but I think your winner is going to take place somewhere up here inside of the top 5. No lap down cars that we'll have to deal with it being less than 10 to go. Cody the only lap down machine, but he's at the rear of the field. 38 drivers running, 37 on the lead lap, 4 drivers back in the garage area. Qualls, Henson, Bishop, and LaPlante. 2 miles to settle it out for the second checkered flag of the season. Benjamin Snyder ready for the green. It's out. Good jump for the Maverick Ford Mustang. Green and white both displayed. Next time by is the checkered flag. Nathan Ormond looking to close up the gap here. Looks to take a look to the inside off of turn 2. He'll make the move down the back straightaway. Can he stay to the left rear quarter panel, or can Snyder get the run to keep him behind him going through 3 and 4? They'll be side by side for the lead. Nathan Ormond with the run, with the momentum. Osborne trying to make something happen there in the Chevrolet, but I don't think he's going to get there. They're double wide behind Nathan Ormond, and Ormond makes the pass on the final lap to pick up the victory here at Manasas. He'll become the second Michael Norman Motorsports driver to go to victory lane here at Manasas. He'll pick up his first win of the season, and Ford goes a perfect 8 for 8 in victories in the Cup Series. How about that? That is mind-boggling. No other manufacturer has been able to break into victory circle for 8 straight seasons. And Nathan Ormond, as we mentioned, did not get his season started off well. 30th last week at Daytona. This victory is going to help him a ton in moving up in the point standings. It'll obviously put him front runner for a wild card spot right now. Obviously very early season. It may move him up into the top 10 in points, which would put him into a current playoff position. We'd have to wait and see about that, but great job there, making that move at the right time, not allowing Snyder to battle back on the top through 3 and 4, or Osborne to get to his inside off the corner on the front straightaway. And Nathan Ormond closes out the deal here on the one-lap shootout at the Manasas Speedway. Standings are official. Osborne will bring it home in the runner-up spot after leading a race-high 14 laps here this afternoon. Benjamin Snyder will bring it home for a great run in 3rd. That's his, I believe, best finish of his Cup Series career. And another great run for Benjamin Miles. Ooh, it might be a tie. Hang on, let's see. Snyder led a lap, Benjamin Miles did not. I think Snyder's going to have the points lead by 1 point over Benjamin Miles. And Jack Mitchell, back-to-back top 5s to start off the season as well. He's going to be right there also. I think there's going to be less than 5 points separating Snyder, Miles, and Mitchell for the points lead. Cole Deaver, another great run for him. Same for Dylan Young. Both of those drivers with back-to-back top 10s to start out the year. Ryan Brommer is going to bring it home in 8th. Michael Norman, who started shotgun on the field, is going to finish in 9th. And Kyle Matthews, who came in this race shotgun in the point standings, is going to get a top 10. That was well needed for the former champion. Eric Monaco, he's going to be rookie of the race, as he'll finish the day out in 11th. Nick Gunther started on pole. He'll get 12th. Reggie Fogelman brings home 13th. Eric Sadler will finish 14th. And Matt McIntyre is going to complete the top 15. Danny Bouchard, Zachary Fitzwater, Keith Batson, Matt Haas, and Anthony McCrory will be your top 20. 21st place, Laura Chung. Casey Hoyt, the defending winner, coming in, will get 22nd. Levi McIntyre, Alexander Rowe, Quentin Moore, your top 25. Charles Sanford was 26th. 27th for Kyler Sustre. First career start, and that's a 28th place finish for Autumn Brooks, Jesse Turner, Destin Bolin, your top 30. Dylan Poten and Carson Gum, couple of teammates back in 31st, 32nd. Caleb Fogler, 33rd. Daniel Voiles in 34th. 35th was Connor Breton. 36th was Trey Wright. Jessica Shelton was the last car to finish on the lead lap in 37th, and Cody Lamas one lap down in 38th. James Qualls, Summer Henson, RJ Bishop, and Austin LaPlante were the drivers who did not reach the conclusion. They finished in the garage area. Well, Matt Haas came in the points leader after his victory last week, finished 19th. Caleb Fogler came in second in points, finished 33rd. So there are some drivers that came into this race pretty high in the point standings that did not get very good results. They will more than likely drop in the point standings. On the flip side, a number of drivers did very well this week that didn't have the luck last week. They'll soar through the point standings, and about 2, 3, 4 drivers with back-to-back top 10s to start out the season. Miles, Snyder, Mitchell, and Young, as well as Cole Deaver, all with solid outings in the first 2 events of Season 8. So they will more than likely be up, more than likely your top 5 drivers in the point standings heading into Las Vegas. But Nathan Ormond gets the checkered flag here this afternoon. We'll have to give you next week what this is for his total in career wins. I want to say it's his 4th career win, but I might be wrong. I think he had 2 back when he drove the Dodge for Joanne Atwood Motorsports, and then, of course, he had the win last year at Watkins Glen. I think this is his 4th, but I'm not 100% certain on that. We'll give you the confirmation on that next week. But well done to Nathan Ormond on the victory this afternoon at Manasas. What a race, what a finish. Came down to a 1-lap shootout after we ran pretty much the entire race up to that point completely clean and green. We had green flag pit stops. It was looking like it was going to be a 6-horse race, and all of a sudden everybody else had a chance in that final shootout to the checkered flag. But if you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to part of the crew today. We showed you your entire finishing results. You're now looking at the point standings as a result of this afternoon's finishes, and we will see how it plays out next week when we head to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But until then, thanks for tuning in this afternoon's race from the Manasas International Raceway. I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, off-flying racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.